So I'm going to a festival, right? That would be called the Sonic Temple one. The Sonic Temple 4-day music festival. Yes. In Columbus, Ohio, the great, wonderful place of Columbus, Ohio, to see some of my favorite bands of all time. And it's going to be great. It's going to be a jolly time. Yeah. Okay. So we got this thing coming up, and I'm going with my good friend, and we're trying to figure out, like, where are we going to stay in Columbus, Ohio? Okay, so the conditions here is that we're both 20 years old. We are both not rich by any means, and we've already both spent $600 on the ticket to the festival, which might seem like a lot, but when you think about the amount of bands that you're seeing and the probability of getting front of pit for each of these bands, it's most certainly worth it. You could find concerts of these singular bands that charge like $1,000 to get pit, right? So this is not a bad deal. That's not the part I'm worried about. But every year we gotta find like an Airbnb, hotel, whatever to go to. So I started looking, and boy oh boy did I have not the greatest time of my life. I've already made a YouTube video about buying festival tickets and it being a pain in the ass. Luckily this year it was not that bad. It was actually a pretty nice, easy process. I first went to Airbnb because I don't trust hotels for the most part, because they're usually always too expensive, or you have to be 21 to reserve it, which is, oh my god, I'll get to that in a second. But I look on Airbnb, right, hopeful that I'll find some decent whatever little crummy house or apartment somewhere in Columbus with 2 beds and a bathroom. That's all we need. That's all we need is 2 beds and a bathroom. We're not gonna be there, like, at all, guys. We're gonna be at this festival from like 1 p.m. till midnight. So we're only gonna be at this place for maybe 8 hours of the day for 4 nights. Okay, Monday through Sunday. We're gonna leave on Monday or Thursday through Sunday. We're gonna leave on Monday. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. I need to find a place for 4 nights, okay? And I look on Airbnb, hoping to find something somewhat decently affordable. And lo and behold, my 2 favorite words to put together. The cheapest place I could possibly find on Airbnb was a grand whopping total of $900. $900 was the absolute cheapest place I could find. I don't remember it costing $1,000 to stay somewhere for a weekend, because that's like violently more than the festival ticket itself that I already paid for. The festival ticket to see over 140 bands was $600, and you're telling me that I have to pay double that to stay in a room. Like, there's no event, there's no special, this isn't like some Great Wolf Lodge, some amazing resort with a huge water park or anything. This is a room. This is a room with a bathroom and maybe a microwave, okay? That's all I'm looking for here. I don't need a lot. I need a roof over my head and a place to shit. God forbid, because that's too hard to find in this day and age, in this economy. I'm asking too much here, apparently. I go and I see all these places. Majority of them are in the $1,200 to $2,000 range. $2,000 to get a room. 4 nights. 4 nights at Airbnb. $1,000. How much did the security guard make in FNAF? Any of the FNAFs? I don't know. Someone put it up, or future me will put it up when I post this on YouTube. Whatever he made in any of those games, it was probably not as much as this room is for 4 nights. This goes to show what is this world gone to? Now keep in mind, a lot of these Airbnbs that I'm looking at They're not even like full houses. Like, I'm not even getting a house. I'm getting a room. I'm getting a room. One room for $2,000 in a house. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm gonna be sharing this fucking house with like 4 other people, and I'm paying $2,000 for one weekend. Like, this is not Great Wolf Lodge. This is not a Cedar Point hotel. There is no added amenity that could possibly make this shit worth $2,000. What could possibly make this shit worth $2,000? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I would imagine $2,000 being the price. Maybe stay for like a whole week, like a whopping 7 days. But 3 days. But 3 days. No. It's making me so mad because I don't remember it being like, I remember it being annoying like last year when I went, but I remember the price, whatever price I found, it was like somewhat affordable. Like, I remember I went with one of my friends and it was just me and him. We split the cost of this place for 3 nights, and it was, I want to say we both paid like, and now I'm looking at places and some of these shits are $2,000 for 4 nights. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what is this jump? Where did this jump come from? It's been 1 year. Like, inflation cannot be that bad. That's not even the worst part. So I'm done looking at Airbnb, right? I'm just so pissed off. Like, fuck Airbnb. This thing sucks. All these people think I'm some Arabian prince that can afford this shit. I'm done. Let's go look for some hotels. Like, option 2, plan B. Let's look for some hotels. Usually I don't trust hotels, but the last trip I went on, I went to a hotel and it was a pretty good experience. So I was like, you know what, we'll go for it. And I looked at all the hotels, and to nobody's surprise, all of them are just as, if not more expensive than some of these Airbnbs that I was seeing. Again, most of them are in the 1,200 to 2,000 range, a lot in the 1,500 area. So I'm really trying to stay under like 800 here. I feel like that's not that big of a request. Like, I'm trying to stay under the 800 mark for like a weekend, to spend a weekend in one place. I don't want to spend over $800 for 2 people. 2 people in a room for a weekend. God, how can people afford vacations, man? Got paid my first real estate check, and it was a good amount of money, but it was not an amount of money that makes spending $2,000 for a fucking room for 4 days sound pleasant or worthwhile. Not even close. I can't imagine. I just don't want to think about doing that. Like, I would feel sick to my stomach. All of my years of shopping at Goodwill and avoiding name brand stores and avoiding going out to eat would be for nothing. Like, I feel like I'd just be letting myself down. I like to indulge myself on these trips that I go on, okay? Because I love music. Live music is like one of the greatest joys in life. All right, so I'm willing to spend a little bit of dollars on it, and I've already spent $600 on it. So I'm willing to go a little out, but I don't want to go $2,000 for a room for 4 days out. Like, I don't know what part of anybody makes them think that that's like a reasonable price to be charging. I don't know how they're filling up vacancies. I don't know how Airbnbs work. If people are actually like booking these rooms for this much, then I need to get in the goddamn Airbnb business. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Charging $2,000 for a fucking weekend. 52 weeks in a year. 2,000 times 52. That's 6 figures off of one fucking Airbnb. That's 6 figures off one Airbnb. Like, what do you mean? Anyways, hotels. Right, that's where I'm going with this. Yes. So I'm looking at some of these hotels. Again, they're not really much cheaper. There's a couple that are pretty cheap. There was only one of them that was too bad, like so nasty to the point where I wasn't even gonna try and make a reservation. Every single review said that there were cockroaches in the room, and that the sheets were dirty and stained and the walls were stained. and people were walking in and out of their rooms. And I don't know how that happens, but I don't want to know. So I was like, I'm not even gonna try this play. This is where we go to die. Like, someone's gonna stab us in our sleep. So that was the one play. It was like $300 for night. Even the fucking cockroach infested murder stabbing motel hellhole was $300 for 4 days. And I mean, like, $300 for 4 days seems like a pretty good deal. Because I find some hotels that look pretty decent. The reviews are whatever. They're in the middle of the road. They're like, it's not the cleanest place, it's not the nicest place, but it'll do. And me and my friend, we're not picky. We are not picky by any means. We are totally fine settling with a less than superb living experience. So I'm like, okay, this looks fine. It was like $500. So like $1,000, half a band for 4 days. Pretty solid. The fact that is a deal in any world still amazes me. Like, an Xbox, for example, is like less than $500. Like an Xbox One, less than $500. That sounds right. I don't know how much a Series X is, or like the new one or whatever, but it's probably close to like the $500-600 mark at this point, I would assume. Right, and think about all the utility that you get with an Xbox, like Series X, if you're someone that uses it. Like, I've had this same Gears of War 4 edition Xbox since like 2017. I think that sounds about right. Like 2017, yeah. So coming up on 10 years, a decade now. I've had this thing for 9 years. And I spent, I don't know how much money it was at the time, but even now, like, I think $600 seems like a good deal for that. So, like, imagine spending $500 to $600 on an item that you will spend multiple days worth of time and enjoyment for a decade, right? Or, all right, here's the option here, guys. Get a gaming console that will last you a decade, that will give you years and years of memories and great times and days and days and days upon days of usage, right? Or spend 4 days in a room. 4 days in a row! Think about rent, right? I live in the great, wonderful town of Grand Rapids, Michigan. And average rent rates go anywhere from like $800 to $2,000 a month. Okay, a month? 1 month? Did you guys hear me say that? A month? 2,000 a month? A month? 1 month. 1 month. $2,000 a month. Or, okay, guys, here's the other option. Ready for this? 1 month of a whole apartment, right? Get a room, a bathroom, right? Your own, like, private living area, or a room for the same price. Whoa, what are you doing, man? Like, what would the math be on that if you were to live there for a month? It was $2,000 for 4 days, right? And there's like 30 days in a month on average, right? Why is it that my cost for going to see 140 plus bands, possibly front row, like less than a third of the cost for what it would be to stay in a room in a building for 4 days? Like, when you put it in that perspective, it seems kind of ridiculous and absurd, right? So, I'm like, okay, fuck these hotels. These are dumb. I find one that's like a decent $400, $500 one, but then here's the next big kicker that I want to talk about. Okay, I didn't set a marker again. Oh my god. Okay. Every hotel that I called said that you have to be 21 in order to book it, make a reservation. Now, guys, I'm 20 years old. I'm the ripe age of 20. I have 5 months until I turn 21. Why? Like, you couldn't tell the difference between me and a 21-year-old. They're 5 months older than me. However, the fact that someone is 5 months older than me right now gives them so many more rights than I have. So many. Guys, it's stupid. It is stupid. This makes me so mad. This makes me so mad. All right, there are so many concerts that I have seen that are in 21 plus venues. There's this one band that I follow on Instagram called The Custodians. All right, they're a good band. They make good music. You should check them out. That might be music recommendation of the day today. They're great. They're great, right? They make good music. None of them are 21. Okay, none of them are 21. So most of them are younger than me, I think, if not all of them. And they're playing at a show that's 21 and up. Like, what the? Okay, so the artists don't have to be 21, but the people that are watching them have to be 21. I can't go. I'm just a baby. I'm just a baby. I can't go. I'm 20 years old. I'm still wearing a bib. I'm still going to sleep in a cradle. Are you kidding me? I can't go see a band with people that are younger than me. Oh, that's absurd. It's absurd. And these fucking hotels. Why can't I book a room? What am I gonna do? I can understand being 18 to book a room, right? Because being younger than that means you're in high school. I feel like being in high school is like a big difference from being in high school and being out of high school. I get that. But I'm 20 years old. I'm 20. I've been out of high school for 2 years now. And I can't book a hotel room. What? Who's making these rules up? Who is making these rules up? I need to have a very stern talk with them because it's bullshit. It's actual bullshit. It is so dumb. You're telling me I can buy a firearm, I can buy a semi-automatic rifle for about the same, if not half the cost of the room for 4 days, by the way, for less than money, right? But I'm not trusted enough to own a room for 4 days. No. That is a huge responsibility that I am clearly not ready for. I am too young to understand the possible responsibilities of taking care of a whole room. You guys think I have a room at my house? No, I sleep outside. My dad only lets me stay here during the day while it's supervised by someone who is older than 21, obviously. Because I am not to be trusted with a room. I am to be trusted with a firearm, and buying a car, and buying a house. I can buy a house. I can buy a whole ass building. I can buy a whole ass multi-family building. Industrial. I can buy a warehouse. I can buy a multi-family residential apartment complex. I can buy a resort. I can buy literally every sort of property, except can't rent a hotel room for 4 days. You guys see how this is stupid? You guys see how this is kind of dumb and kind of really dumb and just not smart and just like the antithesis of intelligence. I can go to war. I can be drafted into the army. I can be sent to the front lines of war and die for this country. But I can't own a hotel room. I can't get a hotel room for 4 days. Oh my God, that is way too big a responsibility for a mere child like myself. But I can die in the midst of a war. I can go die in Afghanistan. I could go get bombed in Iran or whatever, but God forbid I have a fucking hotel room for 4 days. Oh my Lord. The more I talk about this, the more it's stupid and dumb it seems, because it is. It's more stupid and more dumb the more I think about it. The more that time passes on, the more stupid and dumb this gets. I think by the time I'm 21, I'm still going to be pissed at the fact that 20-year-olds aren't allowed to get a room. I'm going to be truly blessed with the fact that I'm 21, but I think I'm going to fight for the rights of people who are 20 and 19 to be able to get a room at a hotel. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? We can't drink. We can't smoke marijuana. We can't get a hotel room. But we can buy a house. We can buy a car. We can buy a multi-family residential complex. We can go to war and die. We can own a firearm. A hotel room? Oh, you're overstepping your boundaries there, bud. Know your place. Get back in line, soldier. Oh my gosh. Yes, sir. To Israel. I can vote and choose the president of the United States. I can elect any member of any political office that I want, but I can't stay in a hotel room for 4 days. I can't be in a room. I can't be trusted to stay in a room for 4 days. No wonder these kids nowadays are getting fake IDs more and more. No wonder you're seeing fake IDs more and more often. Like, I don't even drink, okay? I wouldn't even use it to go to the liquor store to buy stuff. I wouldn't use it to get weed or vapes, none of that. No, I wouldn't, because I don't do that stuff. But I would love a fake ID so I could get into concert venues, all right? See artists perform live music, especially artists that are younger than me, like the Custodians. I would like to see high school students play music, but I'm too young to watch high school students play music.
First aid kit?
Let alone the fact that I can barely even afford this shit. Let alone the fact that I can barely afford to live in a room for 4 days, which would be more than the average rent of an apartment in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I could rent an apartment for an entire month, if not 2 months, for cheaper than staying 4 days in an Airbnb or a hotel. Who do these people think I am? The President of the United States, which I can vote in as a 20-year-old, but I can't stay for 4 days in a room.